Hello friends, you're with the Lonesome Gamer, and I'm still playing Charlemagne. Now we come to the years 791 to 795. And well, the situation has changed quite a bit during the last 5 years. The Emirate of Cordoba is no longer an enemy to the Frankish Empire. They became neutral again. So the tribal player lost them basically. And the same happened to Lombardy. And that is very bad for the tribal player because these two were, kind of their most important powers, at least economically, and Lombardy definitely also military. So right now the tribal player has only the Saxons left here, Asturias, which is just marginal, and the Slavonics, and of course the Norse up there. Right now, Charlemagne is going to try to rebuild the castles that were pillaged, at least some of them. He can't afford to rebuild them all in this turn, and kind of consolidate his position after he took some bad hits in the first years or decades of the game. Okay, so let's start with the tribal player, and we're going to roll again on the event chart, and that is a 21. Trade flourishes. Each player rolls one die and receives a number of treasury points equal to the result. Okay. So the black die is for the Empire. Yeah, great. Okay, everybody gets 1 point. Well, it didn't flourish so terribly hard, right? The tribal's player income has decreased massively. He only got $3 this time, from 15 or something the last turn. So that's pretty horrible. And so what is he going to do? He's going to activate this Norseman here and move him here to Winchester to grab another castle. That gives him another income. And then with these guys here, he's going to move these Norsemen. I think he can actually move them simply here. He can land here in this coastal area. And they're not allowed to move, or this guy is not allowed to move this turn. But he kind of threatens these castles here if they are rebuilt. And so he sits there now. Might be a pain for the for the Empire, but we'll see about that. So then we have here this big Saxon stack, and not sure what to do with these guys. Problem is, I don't want to attack Bremen. They are stronger, they have a leader. I don't have a leader. I could maybe consider to attack Erfurt though. That might be an option. So, at least to get some stratagems there. So let's see how many movement points we get. That's pretty good. That's 6. So that should be enough. Let's say we move with not these suckers here, but the stronger ones. Yeah, okay, so these 18 guys, oops. Let's say we move with them to Erfurt and try to attack there. So that would be, we cannot move along here because then we have to cross the zone of control, but we can move here. Neutrals don't have a zone of control, so that's 1, 2, 4. I'm not even sure if that's going to be enough. We have to enter that space. Yeah, but it should be enough. That's 8 then. Okay, so that brings us here, then we pay 3 more. So that brings us, so we had 18, and that means we have to pay 11 now. So we're down to 7. And, well, we'll see. Fighting is a good thing because that gives us stratagem markers if successful. So these guys have now a combat value of 4, and I have a much higher combat value. So let's see what we get here. We are on the 4 to 1 table. That's only a 2, but that's still good enough. Defender defeated. So we get 1 stratagem marker out of this, and the guy is destroyed. Question is, do we want to remain in here, or do we want to move back? Actually, I think I want to move back. On the other hand, yeah, I think I want to move back. I don't want to allow the other guys to take Hamburg. But I don't have enough movement points to do a pillage action there. So therefore I just destroyed that and get a stratagem marker out of this. Okay, finally I've got this force here, my Slavonics, and let's see what we can do with these guys. That's a 4, so they have 16 movement points. I mean, let's see where we can enter. What about these guys here? Oh, they're too strong for me. I could enter here, attack Prague, and maybe get a stratagem. Makes sense, I guess. I definitely need a leader, so it's 1, 2, and 5 with the attack. No, that's not, that is bullshit, because then these guys go into the Empire's faction, so it's basically a bad idea to attack the neutral ones. So I could also simply move to Erfurt. Maybe I want to do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, wait, what about moving here? I mean, that could be also an option. Okay, I see that, for example, these guys here in Besançon, they are pretty weak. Maybe I can make it there. I have 16 points. That's not exactly close by, but let's see. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. No, that's too far away. Is there any other space that I haven't plundered yet? Well, we don't want to activate Bavaria. I mean, what about Aachen? Kind of strong here. I could attack these guys maybe. I'm not sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait a minute. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I could attack these guys. It cost me 12 points. Huh. Okay, what I'm going to do with the Slavonics, I'm simply going to enter Erfurt. Take that castle. Yeah. It will cost me some provisioning though, but I don't know what else to do. I could attack some of these guys, but maybe I should. Maybe that's actually a better idea. But that allows then this massive stack to attack me, and I don't want that to happen. So I think I'm just going to end up here. And from there, we are more in the center. We can then start better operations. I'm a little too far off here. Okay, so then I have to pay provisioning, and that is, damn, that's quite a bit actually. But I can, well, we got 5. I'm not even sure if I can afford that. That would be 2, 4, fuck. The problem is sooner or later I don't have the money to support all my troops. I think these cost me 2. So I had to pay 6 now. Yeah, I can afford that, but just barely. So I'm going to do that now. I'm going to pay these $6. But damn, I'm not happy with that. Okay, let's see. So, event for the Empire player. That is a 51, and that is again a revolt, possible revolt in the Emirate of Cordoba, Asturias and Navarre. So that's very interesting now again for the tribal player. Let's roll for Cordoba first. If we roll a 1 to 3, they go again to the tribal guys. And they do. Holy shit. That's bad luck for the Empire. And then we go for Asturias. No change here. And Navarre. And there's also no effect there. So, but that was pretty awesome. That gives now the tribal player massive income. And we might see another swing here. So now we're going to hire some troops. First we're going to draw stratagems for the Empire player. We have a Ragnarok. I think that's not terribly helpful. And we have a leader, which is awesome. So the question is, where do we want to place that guy? What about Lyon? That looks like an interesting option. I'm not sure. I gotta find a... I mean, I could also... We have also a need force here in Narbonne. Yeah, maybe I should place a leader there. But Okay, I'm considering, I think I'm going to place that leader here in Narbonne, and then move with this army here from Septimia. These guys. Maybe I can gather an army with these units here from the Provence and maybe from Gascony or Aquitania or somehow, so that I have something if these Spanish riders come north. I have a force to stand up against these guys. And I can draw another stratagem. And that is a military advance. Okay, now we come to the vassalage phase. I'm not going to do a vassalage attempt at that time. I have this Frankish General Assembly, but I can only use that in Thuringia at the moment. And I think that doesn't make a lot of sense now that the tribal player controls Erfurt. So therefore, I'm not going to do that. So we come now to the treasury phase, levy phase. And I'm going to let you know then when we come what happens in the operations phase. So at the end of the treasury phase, the empire player has now 20 bucks. Now he does not invest in any troops, but he's gonna remove these pillage markers. Now removing pillage on a castle space costs 5 bucks, so he's gonna remove actually these two, and is that all? No, there is Strasbourg. Okay, so these pillage markers go away, so that gives him then a little more money in the next turn, and of course additional points. Okay, so that did cost him now 15 bucks, and we have to keep the rest for provisioning, I guess. Okay, I gathered an army here in Aachen under the lead of Charlemagne, and there was nothing else I could do because, you know, you cannot pick up units. Charlemagne was alone, so I had to meet with a few guys in Aachen, and then in the next turn we'll see what we actually can do. If we want to fight the Slavonics, for example. How many guys are there? 6. We could try to fight the Slavonics with these. Maybe I should... I'm not sure if I should gather that force actually here in Besançon. That would have been possible too. But I think I'm going to stay there in Aachen, and I still can move down. It's not a big deal. I have a ton of points with Charlemagne. So, but then again, I don't know. Maybe I should really consider doing this. Okay, what I actually did is I moved a force here to Besançon with the plan to move Charlemagne to Lombardy and take out all these little spaces there, so that I maybe have a chance, a real chance, to grab Lombardy. That's a very valuable area, so it would be great to get that. I hope these troops up there can handle the Slavonics. And yeah, let's see if they can, right? So we're gonna move with these guys. First we got to roll for movement points. That's a 2. That's not so great. So that's 4. That brings it up to 16. Okay, so that would be 1, 2, 3, 4 plus 3. is 7, so we are at 9. Okay, and then these guys, I think there are 20 in there, so that would be 40 then. Okay, and I have 12. Holy shit, I got 60 if I'm not mistaken. Actually a little more than that. That's 31, 62. So that would be on the 1.5 to 1 table. And I'm going to throw in the military advance, I guess, on a 1 to 4. I'm not going to do it. So I'm going to take that risk. And let's hope for the best here. It's a little risky, but I hope I can do it anyway. So let's see. Yeah, awesome. That's a 6. Fantastic. So that means the defender is completely destroyed. Slavonics are gone. That's fantastic. And that gives us 2 stratagems. Wonderful. And then I'm going to move back to Bremen. That was pretty awesome, actually. Okay. Very good, very good. And we get another military advance and an espionage marker. Okay, cool. So, and then I want to do an attack against the Spanish here. So we're going to move with this guy here along the coast against Barcelona. Okay, these are 8, so we got 20 points here, and maybe we can steal some of these castles and also grab a few points here, a few stratagems, I mean. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 plus 3 makes it 7 then. Okay, we're at 13. And we're definitely on the 4 to 1 table here. I'm pretty sure at least that's 18, 19, so that's 38 versus 4. Yeah, definitely. Okay. So let's see what we get. That's a 3. So the defender is defeated. That means we get 1 stratagem marker, and that guy is destroyed. Okay, so this army moved down here along the coast, took out Barcelona, Tortosa, and even Valencia, and that allowed them to grab the civilization marker that was here. We also took some stratagems, and we ended up with an additional leader, which I placed here to help in the defense against the Norse. And that did cost the tribal player some income. But I mean, he's still controlling the emirate, so he gets the 3 additional bucks for that. Yeah, but I think I'm then more or less done with the action of Charlemagne here. And I think I want to play a second turn, but I got to do some provisioning, I guess, especially here. And well, we'll see. 1, 2, 3, 4. So here we got to pay $3, I think. 1, 2, 3. Here we're good. And I think here I'm also... No, I might have to pay... No, I'm good here too. Okay, so overall we got to pay $3. That's okay. So let's see how the tribal player reacts to that. We have now the next game turn. 796 to 800. And again, we go for the events first. So that is a 66. And we have possible revolts in Eastern Europe. And that is attractive because these are mostly, I think they are all neutral. So that is only a possible, just a winning situation for the tribal player. So we roll for Denmark first. And that becomes tribal. The Wends, nope. The Sorbs, nope. Bohemia, The Avars, no. The Ostmark, okay, they become tribal. Sitting here. And finally the Serbs. No. So that wasn't too great. Was a little unlucky here. But at least 2 additional guys, right? And that gives us also some additional income, especially here from the Danes. We get 3 additional bucks. That's neat. But first we come to the stratagem phase. And we get only 1 stratagem because now these guys control Valencia. That's a vassalage stratagem. Now we got 2 of those. Question is, do we want to use these? Or do we want to try to use them for defensive purposes, which makes possibly more sense. Especially in my situation, there is nowhere where I control all the castles. Yeah, I don't think it makes a lot of sense. I'm going to use these for defense against empire vassalage attempts. And yeah, so let's do the treasury phase and the levy phase. So during the treasure phase, the tribal player plays the honest coinage, and that gives him 1 additional buck per friendly controlled castle. That's not a ton, but it's not bad. I mean, it's I think it's not bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I think these are 9 additional bucks. So that's quite a bit of money. And before I lose something like Denmark or so due to an unlucky die roll, I want to use that now. So what I did as the tribal player, I invested it in a lot of these stratagem tokens. I bought 4 of those. And I really wanted a leader, which I didn't get. So, yeah, I mean, kind of unlucky here. I mean, I still got 13 bucks left, but I don't want to spend everything. My income is not so massive. So therefore, I want to keep something for provisioning in future turns. Otherwise, forces like that simply fall apart, and I don't want that. Okay, so I have now a small army here in Zaragoza. Problem is, I don't want to move these guys away because that leaves Cordoba completely open for the Empire player. I mean, maybe it's possible for me to move, for example, here. This is pretty weak. Might be possible. It's not that weak. Maybe I can move to Narbonne, destroy that, and then move back or something. So let's see. That's not great. So we end up with 20 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 10 would be then the attack. I could do that. Yeah, I think I want to do that. Okay, so this brings me then, I have 10 points left now. And that would, I think, allow me maybe to grab a few additional stratagems. So let's see, we got 10, 18, and these guys, yeah, that's not so great. They have 16. Nah, I don't want to risk that. That sucks, man. No, that's just too risky. I can't do that. No way. Okay, so I'm going to stay here instead. Yeah. And what about these guys? Yeah, forget it. Doesn't make a lot of sense. What I wanted to do is I wanted to bring the Danes here from Ribe. At least these guys here. Well, maybe actually, no, one is good enough. So I think I want to bring these guys here, so they kind of pose a little bit of a threat to these areas down here. I mean, it's not a big deal, but as long as they're sitting there, the Empire player has something to deal with. And well, let's see what else we can do. Well, I don't see too many options for my troops, except that one here. Here it seems like the Empire player kind of have left a weakness. We might be able to use these guys here to attack Paris, but first we got to roll a die, and that is a 2, so we got 14 points here. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 3 additional points brings it then to 7, and that is on a 1-on-1 table. No, actually that's not true. It's on a 1.5 to 1 table because we got 6 and the other guy has 4. Now, the question is, do we want to throw in a military advance? Let's check. We can play the espionage marker, and we see that this guy has a ton of them. So, hard to tell. I mean, I don't know. It's not that important, right? So on a 1 to, I don't know, on a 1 or 2, I'm going to do it. Nope. But the other guy, he might actually do it. And I think on a 1 to 5, he will do that. Okay, because he wants to keep Paris, otherwise he has to rebuild the castle. So he can double the strength here. So that means we have 6, and the attacker also has 6. So it's a 1-on-1 then. Let's see what happens. Oh boy, that sucks. So the attacker was completely wiped out. 2 stratagem markers for the defender. Yeah, that sucks. Okay, So there he goes. I mean, you know, it's not a terrible disaster because they can simply come back and he can now move these guys back to Scandinavia in the next turn, grab new units and move back again. But of course it's a pain because of the 2 stratagem markers for the Empire. That is something he definitely didn't want to happen. So we have here a missionary and another missionary. So now the Empire both actually have quite a few stratagem markers, and definitely want to see some actions there. So I don't think there's a lot the tribal player can do then. I mean, he could move to Erfurt, pillage the area. That's an option. Does that make a lot of sense? Hard to tell. I mean, it would give the other guy another empire marker. I don't know. I don't think I want to do that. And what about these guys here in the Ostmark? We still have them. They're not so bad. We could at least move into a castle. So let's roll a die here. Okay, that's just 7 points. So I think with these guys, for now, I just want to move to Salzburg. But at least that gives me an additional buck during the next turn. Okay. Well, wasn't too great. But I don't know. I mean, it's we somehow have to hope for some chance, a leader or something. But at the moment it's not looking too great. Okay, the Empire player again on the events chart. That's a 45. Another revolt or a possible revolt. Lombardy, Republic of St. Peter, Spoleto, Benevento, Byzantium. Okay, that is dangerous because if this happens, there are some powerful options now for the tribal player here. So let's start with the Lombardy. And yeah, we'll see. Okay, that sucks because that means it's a successful revolt. So the Lombardy is again controlled by the tribal player now. And that includes this massive army here in Zurich. And gives him a lot of additional money. So that's not cool for the Empire at all. Republic of St. Peter? Nope. Spoleto? Yes. Okay, these are just this small area here. But still. Benevento? No. And the interesting one is Byzantium, because if they go to the tribal player, they give him $5 each turn. And they actually do. Holy shit. Now that is massive. We're going to place that here. But this includes all these areas here. Venice, Sicily, south of Italy. So that is indeed a big problem now for the Empire. And after we've seen a poor turn for the tribal player, now the situation changes. And if we take a look now at the card or at the map of Europe, oops, let's do it like this, then we see that big parts have these green discs on them, and this is all tribal controlled now. So yeah, the Empire has to come up with some ideas here, I guess. we are first allowed to draw 3 stratagem markers, and that is another leader. That's good. And be it simply for the fact that this goes not to the tribal player. I would actually not need another leader. I don't have that many strong forces on the map anymore, but hey, who cares? So I might actually place that guy here. The second one is then... holy shit, that's another leader. I don't know what to do with all these guys. Let's place him here. And finally, a vassalage marker. Okay. So, let's see what we want to do. We come now to the vassalage phase, and we have a ton of stuff here. So we have, for example, the Crown of Pavia, and we have an espionage marker, and I'm going to use that to see how many defensive options for vassalage actions the other guy has, and we see he's got 2 and a treachery. Okay, so I see. Okay, here's the thing. I think the most dangerous ones for me as the Empire player are Lombardy. Yeah, and I think I want to use Lombardy. I want to use the Crown of Pavia to grab Lombardy. I mean, I know the guy has the treachery marker, so he probably will use that to cancel the Crown of Pavia. But there are not many options for me. What can I do? I mean, I cannot wait forever until he gets rid of that marker. So I'm going to play the Crown of Pavia, and in addition to that, I'm going to throw in my 2 vassalage markers. And yeah, that kind of sucks. They're gone now, obviously. And he's going to cancel the Crown of Pavia with a treachery marker, and he's also going to throw in 2 vassalage markers, because, yeah, obviously Lombardy is such a vital area. So we are at 0 then, and only a 6 will allow a conversion. And that's a 1, so that's actually a reaction. So that gives the tribal player a new stratagem. That's pretty painful. Oops, and this is the Spear of Longinus. Now that allows you a reroll. Okay, then we have this Frankish General Assembly, which we can use to try to bring Thuringia on our side. Oh, wait a minute. I think I was actually here, but that doesn't make a difference. I was on the 0, on the 1 column, simply because these guys are Christian. Anyway, so I'm going to bring in now the Frankish General Assembly. That gives me 2 against Thuringia. He doesn't have anything to defend himself here, and he's probably also not too interested in that. So I'm at 2 plus 1 because this is Christian. So I'm here at 3, and that means a 4, 5, or 6 would be a success. And fuck that, another 1. That is another marker for the tribal player. That is pretty unlucky, and that is a vassalage marker here. Wow, that was poor. No luck here for the Empire. Okay, I forgot to draw a stratagem for Valencia, and I've drawn another vassalage stratagem, and I'm going to do another vassalage attempt now against Saxony. And maybe I should have done that earlier, because that is definitely more valuable than Thuringia. On the other hand, I could not use my Frankish stuff against Saxony, only against Thuringia. Anyway, so I got this well, I could also use it against Lombardy. Tough choice here. Maybe Lombardy would be more interesting, actually. Really hard to say. I get a +1 marker for the Christians. That's for sure. And Lombardy is more valuable to the tribal player than Saxony. So yeah, I think I'm going to go with that. I'm going to try Lombardy again. So we are here on the 2 column, and then a 4 to 6 I can make these guys neutral again. Didn't make it. Damn. Okay. So, and now I can hire troops, and we'll come back during the action phase. Okay, I decided to finally move on here in Saxony. This stalemate pisses me off. I want to do something there. So I'm going to roll a die here. We got 4, so that means we end up with 16 points. And yeah, so we moved from Bremen here. That cost me 1 point, 3 more points for the attack against Hamburg. Now that's a big deal, but we got 31. We can double that, brings us to 62. And that guy has... Wow. Holy shit. 10. Holy shit. Wait a minute, he's got nearly the same, actually. 24, 28, right? Yeah, I think so. Okay, he can also double that, so that brings him to 56 then. So that's a 1-on-1. I'm going to throw in my military advance. And now it's the question, does he do the same? And I think he will. Why not? And then we see what happens. We're on the 1-on-1 table. It's a risk. It's a big risk. But, you know, I cannot simply continue this standoff there forever. This is simply bullshit. So let's see what we get. All right. Yeah, okay, man, that's it then. I've lost all my units. And I was a complete disaster. The tribal player gets 2 markers. Wow, was that bad. Yeah, that's all, man. So they're all gone. And that really sucked. Okay, what I did is I gathered quite an army here under Charlemagne. There are 6 units now. That cost me $6 to supply. But I don't know. Otherwise, I don't see a way to deal with these big armies, especially with that one here, the Lombardian army. And someone has to take care of the Saxons now. Yeah, that really sucks. Okay, so at that point, I don't know. It's it's still all open. I think the tribal player is in a much better position than he was one turn ago, simply because all these rich areas now came to him. He's lost that battle at Hamburg, and yeah, he's in a very comfortable position now. So he might now even use his Saxons to move against Austrasia. It's all wide open here, and it's just doing good. So yeah, hope to see you on the next video or on lonesomegamer.com. Bye.